Okay, in this video, we're looking at rational expressions. Specifically, we're going to divide them. Um, and it's very similar to dividing fractions. If I have 1/2, say, divided by 3/4, the rule is leave the first one the same, change the divide to a multiply, and find the reciprocal of that one. Okay, and then go from there. So when you're dividing, you multiply by the reciprocal. Making sure that you know what the reciprocal is, what it is, and the official definition is the product of an expression and its reciprocal is equal to 1. In other words, if I wanted to find the reciprocal of this, notice I'm not going to put an equal sign. I'm just going to put an arrow. If I want to find the reciprocal of this, I flip it over. So it'd be x over 3. The numerator becomes a denominator becomes numerator, etc. Notice with this one that everything changes. So the 4 goes on the top, and on the bottom I have that whole numerator. So those are the reciprocals. So the point of the reciprocal page is that when you're dividing expressions, you change the division to a multiply, and you flip the second fraction. So, for example, if I'm wanting to divide these, I'm going to go 10 over 7, leave that one alone, change the divide to times, find the reciprocal of this. So 21 over 5. Then what I'll do with this one, I'm just looking what I have on the bottom here. I'm going to change and factor each of these. So 10 is the same as 5 times 2 over 7 times 21 is the same thing as 7 times 3 over 5. And now when I look at it, I can see a common expression of 1. 7 over 1 is 1, or 7 over 7 is 1. So those, in essence, cancel. Same thing with 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom. Since all I'm doing is multiplying everywhere, those are a factor of 1. I can eliminate those. So the answer to this would be 2 times 3, or 6. Try this one. So I have x minus 2 over x plus 6. Leave that one alone. Change the divide to times. Flip this one over. So this would be x minus 2 over x minus 3. So I'm dying to cancel something here. I can't cancel these x's because of the minus. But none of the terms are the same. I'd like to cancel these, but they're both on the top, so I can't. So I would leave this question as x minus 2 times x minus 2, or x minus 2 squared, over x plus 6 times x minus 3. Alright, so that's as much as I could do with that one. So this next one, leave the first one, x squared minus 9 over 5. Change the divide to a multiply, and flip this one over. So it's 15 over x minus 3. That's my first step, okay? Change the divide to times, and flip this one. Find the reciprocal of the second one. Now I'll factor. This one I couldn't really factor anything, so I left it. But this one I can factor. X squared minus 9, that's a difference of squares. X minus 3 times x plus 3 over 5 times 15 is the same as 5 times 3 divided by x minus 3, I just leave. Now look for things that are the same on the bottom and the top. Here's an x minus 3, there's an x minus 3. Notice I'm not canceling just the x, it's the whole thing. Because that's a times there, I can cancel that whole thing with this whole thing. And then the 5 and the 5 are the same. Again, it's times there, so I can cancel that with that. So on the top, I'm left with an x plus 3 times 3. And I'll just put that at the front. So 3 times x plus 3. And there's nothing on the bottom. Done. Let's just try one more. One that's a little bit bigger, but it's the same concept. Fraction, fraction, I'm dividing. Okay, well, I don't have enough room to go sideways, so let's go down. So x squared minus 6x plus 9, x squared minus 9. Okay, change the divide to a times. Flip this over. X minus 9 on top, x squared plus 3x minus 18 on the bottom. Now factor. So I need to factor that top one, I think it's x minus 3 times x minus 3. Are you seeing how important factoring is as we move forward? You'll see it's even more important as you get into math, the next level of math. Okay, factored that one. I think that one's right. Difference of squares, it'd be x minus 3, x plus 3 times x minus 9, that's all I have up there, over, I gotta be able to factor that. X and x, things that multiplied 18, negative 18, add to 3. I think that's plus 6 and minus 3. Is that right? X squared minus, yeah, that's right. Okay, now look for things that are similar on the top and the bottom. X minus 3, x minus 3, gone. X plus 3, no. Oh, here's an x minus 3 with an x minus 3 over there. So I'm finished with this one. On top I'll have an x minus 9, and on the bottom I'll have an x plus 3. So when you're dividing rational expressions, same as dividing fractions, change the divide to times and flip this one over. It doesn't look like flip. Anyway, flip the second one over, and then do exactly what you do with multiply. Find factors for everything. Anything that's common on the top and the bottom, they'll cancel because they're a factor of 1, and 1 times anything doesn't change it. So those cancel, these cancel, and write what I'm left with. Oh, I forgot that. I'm glad I noticed that. I forgot that there was a plus 6 here too. So I need on the bottom also to have an x plus 6. Okay, that's good. Try some questions from the book.